Slow clap for the homies. What do you think? What do you think? Ooh, ooh. Oh my God, it's a snake! It's a snake! Not anymore. Now it's just a hose. We're putting the boom and boom arm, baby. Okay, this is not an original idea. I will link to like the 5 or 6 other videos that I watched to kind of conceptualize this for my shop. But basically what I want to do is I want to install a boom arm to, let me show you. I have this post in the shop that's kind of, actually it's in the way. But since it's in the way, what I want to do is attach a boom arm to that that'll swing out, and we'll have my dust collection hose attached to it so I can swap it out to different tools. Now my biggest fear, and the reason I haven't done this earlier, is because I thought that support, I thought in the middle of that was like just a big metal tube, you know, one of those like pillar type supports. And I was afraid that I was gonna figure out like a way to fasten to that and blah, blah, blah. But I did a little research and ta-da! That's just all 2x material. It looks like 4 2x probably 8s, I guess. Well, I guess if it's square, then it's 2x8s. 4 2x8s that are fastened together. So that means I can drill anywhere on this, and I'm gonna hit basically a stud. Studly! It just needs a little spackle, kids. A little spackle. Clear that right up. Fast forward to like 4 years later, I guarantee you that's still just sitting there like that. Or has fallen out and I can't find it anymore, and there's just a hole. So I'm just using some scrap plywood that I have laying around. This is 1/2 inch. This was a 4x8 panel that I've cut down and have this part left over. So we're gonna cut this into a couple of strips. We're gonna hinge it to the wall, and then we're gonna hinge the boom arm itself too. So does that make sense? You'll see. You'll see. I got this. So hopefully we can make this stationary and just have to worry about the hose being overhead. Hose! I said hose. So I've seen a lot of guys drill holes in here to reduce weight or whatever. I don't know if that's totally necessary, but I do want to remove some of the material so I can strap the hose to this. So I'm just going to drill some holes in the corners to give me kind of a rounded edge, and then I'm going to cut the rest out with a jigsaw. So my first attempt to do this went badly. I made 2 mistakes. One was I just took out too much material, and I mean, this is pretty rigid this way, but I had it in the vise and it buckled. 2, I forgot how crappy I am with the jigsaw over long distances. So this is garbage. So what I decided to do instead is just drill holes every so often to give me something to attach things to. It's just gonna be easier that way. Yada, yada, yada. So it's a little wonky. I can't remember exactly how you ensure that the blade doesn't start going at an angle in there, other than don't be an idiot like me when you do this. But it's good enough. Everything else looks good. So the reason that we have this little piece on here is because if I just put this straight on here, it would only open this far. If I put this so it's here, it'll be able to open all the way. So you just want to have that little overhang just in case. And then we're gonna see if this is gonna be stable enough to hold that boom arm, or if we'll have to reinforce it. So I didn't want to make this too short. And in the true nature of Build Dad Build, as I was spray painting the arm last night, I ran out of spray paint. So this is just gonna be buck naked, baby. It's gonna be, did I? I Brad nailed this to my bench. I'll have you know, nailing this to the bench was not an accident at all. It was done on purpose so I can use these 4 nails to knock this up here. No, it was a happy accident. The fact that I have this now makes me happy. Okay, so I kind of hate everything about this. One, these hinges have so much play in them that it's just, the whole thing's curving down. It can't handle the weight of this. 2, I mean, it just doesn't function the way I wanted it to anyway. I realized if I loosened it up a little bit, this hinge would work better, but look at how bad that's pulling off there. I even tried attaching a bungee from here up to the ceiling to see if like doing that would help. Still, it's just not working right. But then I got to thinking, I thought this needed to swing all the way out to here, but it really doesn't. This is gonna live above my miter saw most of the time. So I think what I'm gonna do is 2 things. One, these hinges are shit regardless. That hinge, if you look at it, it's already kind of twisted in there, which means over time, doing this back and forth, that's gonna fail. So I went to the deepers and I got one of these, just like a fence hinge, because there's no play in this. There's no slop in the hinge. And honestly, if you did this with 2 hinges, you'd probably get away with it. They would probably counterbalance them, but just on 1 hinge, it's not working. So we're gonna attach this. And then my other idea is, when I swing this over here, that's about how long I want it to be anyway. So I think I'm gonna take this whole back piece off, take this hinge off, and just hinge this board, and just have that swing out. Because the thing is, if I need to use something way over there with the hose, I will swing this to here and I'll just have the hose
now every day is
available. But I originally thought this was gonna fold up nice and neat right here, but it doesn't look like it wants to play nice. So second draft, kids, second draft. Okay, and while we're regrouping, I figure I'll pull this shit show over for a second and say thanks for sticking around to this point in the video. Understand that this is what happens in the conception phase. Usually you hope that you figure out the issues before you get to the actual building, but sometimes you have to build it to find out. Sometimes you've got to F around and find out. If you want to see more videos going through the entire process, hit that subscribe button. If you dig what I'm laying down here, hit that like button. And if you are one of my patrons, you deserve a big open mouth kiss. Come here. Especially my top tier or Boilermaker patrons. Stephen Mann, Eric Weiss, Chuck Faulkner, Derek Coates, Puffy Muffins, Andy the Viking, Dwight Smith, Christopher Walters, Todd Stewart, and Franklin the Tanklin. I wish this was whiskey. But if you've not checked out my Patreon page, it's a great way to support the channel. I will put the link down below. Go check out the page, join up if that's your thing. Now, let's get the shit show back on the road. Whoop! That's better. That is much, much better and half as time consuming. But like I said, so mainly this is gonna be hooked up to my miter saw. When I need it, I can pop this off. This swings around, it swings that way. And if I need the extra length, I just pull this down and take it with me. Woohoo! Oh, you know what happens now, don't you? Yeah! All right, guys, I hope this helps you out. I hope this helps you not make the same mistakes I made. Everybody needs a little bit more boom in their shop. Okay, until next time, thanks for playing. Now I gotta get to work on this bourbon. Whoop! I forgot 2 things. What? So what time in this institution. Okay, don't do that.